Hello, you pillow people. Welcome back to another episode of Pillowcast. And this episode we're going solo today. We're going to be talking about this Michael Jackson. I almost said Michael Jackson. We're going to be talking about this My Chemical Romance bracket that I recently did. And I'm going to be talking about, why I chose the things that I did and whatnot. So, I don't know if I'll be able to post a bracket down below, but I will kind of give you an idea of what the bracket is like just by reading it off. So, Hunter, who has been on this podcast many a time, he sent me this bracket and said that I should do it because he thought it was interesting. So, it's called the My Chemical Romance Discography bracket. There are 4 different sections, obviously. This is how brackets work. So, the first section, it's Honey, This Mirror Isn't Big Enough for the Two of Us versus The Kids from Yesterday. Bulletproof Heart versus My Way Home. This Is How I Disappear versus Teenagers. The Only Hope for Me Is You versus Drowning Lessons. Save Yourself, I'll Hold Them Back versus Destroy Ya. Give 'Em Hell Kid versus Head First for Halos. It's not a fashion statement, it's a death wish. It's not a fashion statement, it's a death wish versus The End. Na 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 versus Helena. And that's the first bracket. And then the second bracket is Fake Your Death versus To the End. Early Sunset over Monroeville versus Tomorrow's Money. I Don't Love You versus Kill All Your Friends. You Know What They Do to Guys Like Us in Prison versus Disenchanted. Cancer versus I'm Not Okay, I Promise. FTWWW over Planetary Go. I cannot talk today. Make Room versus The Jest That Life Is Gonna Kill You. And Kiss the Ring versus Demolition Lovers. Bracket 3. We have Boy Division versus Surrender the Night, Vampires Will Never Hurt You versus Blood, The World is Ugly versus Summertime, Our Lady of Sorrows versus Heaven Help Us, The Light Behind Your Eyes versus The Sharpest Lives, Black Dragon Fighting Society versus Welcome to the Black Parade, Burn Bright versus Cemetery Drive, and Gun versus Sleep. And then on bracket 4, we have Skylines and Turnstiles, The Ghost versus The Ghost of You, House of Wolves versus This Is the Best Day Ever, Desert Song versus Sing, Vampire Money versus Cubicles, Thank You for the Venom versus Dead, Famous Last Words versus Mama, I Never Told You What I Do for a Living versus Scarecrow, and Ambulance versus Party Poison. So those are the 4 different sections of the bracket, just to kind of give you an idea, and if you want to kind of slow it down and write it out and kind of do it on your own, I'm blowing a hair off my screen, feel free to do so. So, I'm going to kind of go through this bracket and just kind of talk about why I chose the songs and what I did. So, Honey, This Mirror Isn't Big Enough for the Two of Us versus The Kids from Yesterday. I chose The Kids from Yesterday. It's one of my favorite My Chemical Romance songs. It's one of my favorites from Danger Days. And it's just been one of my favorites from them ever since. I just like how it sounds. And I really, really like Honey, This Mirror, but if I had to choose between the two, it would be The Kids from Yesterday. Bulletproof Heart versus My Way Home. I chose Bulletproof Heart because my Way Home is, it's My Way Home. But Bulletproof Heart is great. And, one of my favorite songs off of Danger Days. And I believe it was one of the lead-off singles, too. So it's a great song. This Is How I Disappear versus Teenagers. This one wasn't hard at all because I believe Teenagers is a very overrated song. And so I chose This Is How I Disappear. One of my favorite songs off of the Black Parade. So I'm really happy that I was on here and I got to choose it from one of them. The Only Hope for Me Is You versus Drowning Lessons. This one was actually really hard for me because I really, really like both of these songs, and I almost went with The Only Hope for Me Is You because it used to be one of my favorite My Chemical Romance songs, but I ended up going with Drowning Lessons because it's been one that I've been coming back a lot to lately, and you're going to see Bullets a lot on this list just because I love Bullets so much. If you guys have listened to some of the earlier podcasts, you might know it's my favorite My Chem album. So yeah, Save Yourself, I'll Hold Them Back versus Destroy Ya. This one was also kind of difficult because I love Destroy Ya and Save Yourself, I'll Hold Them Back. But if I had to choose between the two, I'd choose Save Yourself, I'll Hold Them Back. Just me. Give 'Em Hell Kid versus Head First for Halos. This needs no explanation. It's obviously Head First for Halos. One of My Chemical Romance's best songs of their whole career, in my opinion, and the best song on Bullets. So it had to go on here. It's not a fashion statement, it's a death wish versus Na Na Na. No, fashion statement, this is not a fashion statement, it's a death wish versus The End. Fashion statement. It's such a good song. It's Hunter's favorite My Chemical Romance song, and that's how I found it because of him, and he told me it was one of the best songs by My Chem, so I listened to it. It was amazing, and I listened to it a few days ago, like a day or two ago, when I was listening to 3 Cheers. So yeah, and then Na 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 versus Helena. Y'all will kill me. Hunter killed me when he heard, but I ended up choosing Na 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 over Helena, which is kind of strange for me, but I chose it. I did. I chose Helena over. I chose Na 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 over Helena, which, just me. I know I love Danger Days, and Na 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 has always been my, party anthem. So the songs that made it into the 4 slots, The Kids from Yesterday, Drowning Lessons, Head First for Halos, and Na Na Na. So between The Kids from Yesterday and Drowning Lessons, I ended up choosing, again, Drowning Lessons. It's just such a good song, one of my favorites, again, off Bullet. And Head First for Halos versus Na Na Na. I originally was going to choose Na 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 just because of how much I love it and everything, but then I remembered Head First for Halos. So I ended up choosing Head First for Halos, and Drowning Lessons versus Head First for Halos. I obviously chose Head First for Halos over Drowning Lessons. Again, originally I did choose Drowning Lessons over, but I'm like, wait, it's Head First for Halos. The riff is recognizable at moments immediately, and it's a great song. So so that's why. So number 1, the first bracket, Head First for Halos wins. Flipping the page here for what I wrote down. Okay, so Fake Your Death versus To the End. To the End, I like the concept of the song, and I just like it better than Fake Your Death. Fake Your Death is alright, but it's not a really great song in my personal opinion. I just don't come back to it that much. Kind of boring, but whatever. Early Sunsets over Monroeville versus Tomorrow's Money. Early Sunsets over Monroeville. Conventional Weapons only gets like 1 spot here. Like, Conventional Weapons is just, I've never really been a fan of Conventional Weapons that much, but Early Sunsets over Monroeville is one of my favorite My Chemical Romance songs, and definitely in my top 5, so yeah, definitely. I Don't Love You versus Kill All Your Friends. I Don't Love You. I Don't Love You. I mean, I Don't Love You, it's one of my favorite songs to play on guitar. I love playing on guitar, it's great. And I never really liked Kill Your Friends that much. Kill Me As You Will, but I've never really liked Kill All Your Friends that much. You know What They Do to Guys Like Us in Prison versus Disenchanted. Disenchanted, obviously. You Know What They Do to Guys Like Us in Prison is hella overrated. Really, really overrated song. It's great. It's good, but it's overrated. Cancer versus I'm Not Okay. I chose I'm Not Okay just because, I don't come back to Cancer that much. I mean, FTWWW versus Planetary Go. Who's going to choose FTWWW? No one. Planetary Go. Planetary Go is what I'm going to choose here. Planetary Go. A very electronic song, a very dancey track from Danger Days. Jet Set Life, Who's Going to Kill You versus Make Room. I chose Jet Set Life. I don't care for Jet Set Life that much as a song, but if it's compared against Make Room, I'm going to choose Jet Set Life. And Kiss the Ring versus Demolition Lovers. Demolition Lovers. And definitely in the top 10 best My Chemical Romance songs of all time, in my opinion. So we got our 4 songs. Early Sunsets, I Don't Love You, I'm Not Okay, and Demolition Lovers. So Early Sunsets over I Don't Love You. It's going to be I Don't Love You. I mean, no, Early Sunsets. I wrote down Early Sunsets. I don't know what I'm talking about. Early Sunsets versus I Don't Love You. It's Early Sunsets. Again, one of my favorite My Chemical Romance songs ever. I'm Not Okay versus Demolition Lovers. I ended up choosing I'm Not Okay. And then between Early Sunsets and I'm Not Okay, I went with I'm Not Okay. I mean, if you put them together at the certain time that I was writing it, definitely I'm Not Okay. So the third bracket here, we got Boy Division versus Surrender the Night. I ended up going with Boy Division. Just because it's Boy Division, and it used to be my jam for the longest time. I loved Boy Division, and it's the only song from Conventional Weapons that actually makes an appearance on here. So yeah, there you go. Vampires Will Never Hurt You versus Blood. That's easy. Vampires Will Never Hurt You. Summertime versus Our Lady of Sorrows. Summertime. It's one of my favorite songs to play on guitar. I love playing it on guitar. It's great. Our Lady of Sorrows versus Heaven Help Us. Again. Our Lady of Sorrows. It has a lot of really good live moments, and it's just a quick little song in bullets, and I love it. The Sharpest Lives versus Black Dragon Fighting Society. Sharpest Lives. Light Behind Your Eyes versus Sharpest Lives. Sharpest Lives, anyways. Black Dragon Fighting Society versus Welcome to the Black Parade. Welcome to the Black Parade, definitely. One of the best My Chemical Romance songs of all time. It's definitely probably my top 15. Burn Bright versus Cemetery Drive. Cemetery Drive. I love the chorus on that one, and I like Gerard's vocals. And Gun versus Sleep. Sleep is one of the most epic My Chemical Romance songs of all time, and it definitely needs a whole lot more credit than it gets. So we got Vampires Will Never Hurt You, Summertime, Welcome to the Black Parade, and Sleep. So Vampires Will Never Hurt You versus Summertime. I ended up going with Summertime just because Summertime is such a good song, very underrated. And Welcome to the Black Parade versus Sleep, I went with Black Parade. And then, between Summertime and Black Parade, I went with Black Parade. It's an anthem, definitely. Gets me jumping up and rocking every time. So, yeah, we're on to the fourth and final bracket here. Skylines and Turnstiles versus The Ghost of You. The Ghost of You, I've never liked Skylines and Turnstiles that much, really. I mean, it was the first My Chem song that was written, but still, whatever. House of Wolves versus This Is the Best Day Ever. I went with House of Wolves. House of Wolves is one of my favorite My Chemical Romance songs of all time. I love it so much. It was one of my favorites instantly as soon as I heard it on the Black Parade. Desert Song versus Sing. Sing. I don't like either of those songs that much, but if I had to choose one, it'd be Sing. Sing is... I hate that song, but I mean, whatever. And Vampire Money versus Cubicles, not even a question. Vampire Money. Vampire Money is such a rock fest, and Cubicles is just a waste of time. Thank You for the Venom versus Dead. This was probably the hardest decision to make on this entire list because Thank You for the Venom has one of the best choruses in all of My Chemical Romance's discography. But Dead is Dead. So, I mean, I had to choose Dead. It had to be Dead. Mama versus I Never Told You What to Do for a Living. It's Mama. Famous Last Words versus Mama. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, Mama. You never know. I Never Told You What to Do for a Living versus Scarecrow. I chose Scarecrow there, and then Ambulance versus Party Poison. I chose Party Poison. So we got House of Wolves, Vampire Money, Dead, and Scarecrow. Out of House of Wolves and Vampire Money, I chose House of Wolves. And then for Dead and Scarecrow, I chose Dead. And out of those two, House of Wolves and Dead, I chose House of Wolves. So now we're on to our top 4 here. So for the first bracket, we got Head First for Halos. From the second bracket, we got I'm Not Okay. From the third bracket, we got Welcome to the Black Parade. And from the fourth bracket, we got House of Wolves. So yeah, the top 2, do I like I'm Not Okay better than Head First for Halos? No. So I'm going to put Head First for Halos. I put Head First for Halos in the runner-up spot. And then Welcome to the Black Parade versus House of Wolves. I love House of Wolves. And it is my favorite My Chemical Romance song. And so out of Head First for Halos and House of Wolves beats out Head First for Halos, and that is my number 1 on the bracket. So yeah, that was a little fun thing. Hope you guys enjoyed this little episode that I decided to make. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want something to do in between making music and things. And, this is kind of a little fun thing I wanted to do when I'm bored and I can post them and whatnot. So, yeah, thank you guys for listening. And make sure to do your own brackets and have fun with it. It's pretty fun. So, I mean, yeah. Thank you guys for listening, and peace out.